Okay, so today we're going to continue on with Solana. We're going to start on our quest to create our messaging app. Now it's going to use Anchor, which is the first time I've used that, so we'll see how it supposedly makes things easier for you. So first I did set up the background, the environment, and did the configurations and short of setting up the Anchor project. Some of it we've already done. We have our test validator. We have our account and our address, and we'll go over that again. But let's talk about setting up the environment. Now, if you have Solana, have Rust already installed, which I thought I did, which I did actually, but I ran into issues because I had installed it using Snap, which is one way of installing things on Ubuntu. Let's see if I found how to, where did it go? Yeah, I had to end up removing it and go through, which did I do? I did this, and I also ended up physically deleting the Snap directory with Rust in it. But let's get back to let's see, here. So if you don't have Rust, this curl is a common application in Linux. It basically is saying it's going to pull this information from this website here. The source is going to actually start up the environment. It's kind of like you have an environment in any operating system. And Rust up is a way of, I guess, configuring Rust, and it lets you have to add this additional component. Now, we already had Solana. I did try to install Mocha, and this is just NPM. We've done node installs quite a bit. The one I ran into, let's see, I ran into an issue with Anchor, and that's how I knew Rust was messed up. And like I said, I had to go back and remove it, and then go through this process here, and then Anchor worked. Let me show you. Let's see, that should bring this. Nope. What do we got going on here? Let's go. Okay. So, let's see. I think this is a Anchor -- version. Am I in the right directory? Yeah. I created the Solana. And you can see we have that is working. So again, if you run into problems installing Anchor, let's see if I can find. Here I was checking the balance. We did this last time. Check the account, owner, and so on. Let me see if I can show you what I ran into, or did I not do it in this screen? Let's see. Okay, this is one. Because it'll be helpful to actually see what happened. So I'm going to try to get back there for you. Okay, let's see what you're seeing. Okay, so you see what happened. I ran into an issue trying to run here. Here's where we ran into the issue. So I was running the anchor so quite a bit. All right. So I was trying to install Anchor, and that's when I ran into the issue that it was not happy with Rust for whatever, the version I had. Go all the way down here, and you can see wouldn't compile it. So, I decided to try to reinstall Rust because I didn't know. I did not like it. So that's when I went through and went through the process that I showed you about removing it. Now it did, even after I removed it, then I tried this, and I tried again. Still acted like it did, but I said, the heck with it, let's try. And it did, and I checked that I had the environment. I added the format component, or whatever it is, and then I was able to successfully install Anchor. And I've seen that Snap seems to cause a lot of issues. And that's one way of installing things in Ubuntu. So, now that you have the environment installed, we went through this kind of stuff last time. So, where you check the address, we started the validator. The validator is running. Let's see where it's running. It's probably running in the other window. Because I have 4 things running. Yeah, it's running in the other window. But it is running. We started it last time. So the next step is to see if we can, what happens when we try to initialize the validator. And you should be seeing that. Yeah. So we're just going to we're going to go through, and first thing is we're going to initialize. We're in a separate directory I created, Solana Quest, and I'm going to do Anchor, init, messenger app. So that is going to create our app for us. And it's very similar to what we see in other development environments where you create like a skeleton automatically and just does all the stuff for you that you need to do all the time. And you can see it created our anchor terminal, cargo package, created, it put in the node modules, let's see, the bunch of stuff, the config, the package. So it looks like it's going to be using both Node and Rust. Let's see what's in the app. Well, it doesn't look like anything in it yet. Programs. And you can see the messenger app is in there. But what we're going to do, the next thing I'm going to tell you to do is build it. So let's see. Remember, there's not much there right now, but what we're going to do today is go through, and then we're going to actually try to add some code. And basically what we're going to do is add the two basic Solana functions that we need. Okay, it built, but and then we can do a test. And again, there's not much here, but it's just doing its thing. Tab you in? May not like this, because it says, yeah, I'm not in the right spot. So to actually run these tests, head over to the tab where you ran the Solana test validator, and let's see. Well, I ran the Solana test validator, but if I run Control-C, let's see, let me read this more thoroughly here. And kill that process. Okay. So, they want us to go, I'll bring this up. I think this will do it. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to bring this to the forefront. And let's see what happens. I'm a little skeptical here. But what did they tell us to run? Anchor test. Okay. 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 Let's see. I'm going to go back to where we were, and let's try to bring that up again. There we go. And let's see if it works now. Maybe let's see what happens, if it's actually going to work this time. It's rather confusing, but my guess is there's some conflict between the test validator running and the tests running. Well, this is looking a little bit more promising. Very interesting. So now we got it sitting here. Let's see what it's going to do. It's doing anything. And I confused myself between the... Okay, well, this is looking promising here. It did not do that last time. So there's probably some conflict when you have the test validator and the app and the test stuff running at the same time. So this has gone to town, and Now it's running the test suite here. And let's see. So it looks like it did it. Okay. So now on to our actually doing our initialize and so on. So we're going to go in here to programs, and inside. Now, if it recognizes it and you hit a tab, it'll complete it for you. And we're going to go into source, my guess is, and lib dot. So this is, okay. Well, so let me show you. We can look at the, see if this, nope, not that one. See which one will actually, here we go. Okay. So we have here so what you're going to do is we're in here, and we're going to define two functions. Now, that's going to go, we're going to do it under the pub mod and OK. So, let's do that. Let me get you back to here. And, nope, not the right one. Here we go. So we have this up, and let's see where it tells us to put it, because it has some stuff already in it. So we're going to define them under pub mod. Okay. So these are going to be defined right under the actually, one of them, they already do define it, but we may change the definition here. Context initialize, and we are going to add data string. And just to keep it the same, we're going to call this program result. And then the second one is going to be the update function. And I'm just going to, so as to not waste time, just copy and paste. And we're going to make it line up here. Okay, so let me just make sure that program result, okay, it put some extras. The original one had some extra stuff in here. Notice they're very, very similar. I guess because one you're, I guess, setting the initial data, and the other one you're just updating the data. So let's look at this again. Okay. So of course, we have a public function. That means they can become client callable. The context, which is the Solana account. This is a typical Solana that we've looked at in the past. We want to get the data and put that in the account. Remember, in Solana, everything is stored in accounts. And we are going to, let's see, we're going to have the data go in, and then, okay, so we're keeping track. And think about this is a messaging app, right? So what's happening here is you're going to, just like if you use Signal or Telegram or, some messaging app, you push, you keep track. Your messages don't go away. This is do the same thing, and that's why you have this base account list. So let's copy that. I'm going to do a little copy paste here into the initialize. And I am doing that. I know you're not seeing it, but all I'm doing is copying the code in that's on the screen. So I guess this is the initial data, the initial message, if you will. Whoop. I'm trying to get everything lined up. It just looks nicer that way. Okay. Now, and our second function is exactly the same. Because all you're doing is just updating. You're doing the same thing. You're just putting the, adding data to the account, updating the message. So I'm going to essentially do the same thing here. And I want to see if it... And I'm just copying the same thing because, again, we have our initial data and we have our updated data as a new message comes in. And again, these are public functions, which means they can be accessed just from the chain. So we're going to save that. And for now, because this is where we're gonna stop today, and we're gonna start talking about data structures next time. But let's let me see if I can get this puppy to build again. Okay. So we have to be in, we're in Messenger app, which you should be seeing. And we're gonna do an anchor build again. See if that works. We are missing some, that's interesting. All right. Yes. We are missing a now it seems so. Let's see if it'll build without the. I don't know if it needs that. Oh, well, it seemed to complain about the OK, so, but this one doesn't have it. Let me just double check. See if it wants an OK. No, it does not need it after the OK. Because remember, the OK is kind of your return. So I guess it is a little bit different. It's error handling. So we'll just go up. And whoop, let's try it again. Okay, it's not going to compile yet because we haven't created our data, all our stuff. But at any rate, so it's not quite ready for prime time to be compiled. But these are our basic functions, and we've seen similar stuff like this before when we did the Solana project earlier. And next time we're going to continue on, and so we've written our first function, we've written our second function, and then we have to create the structs that are going to hold our data, and then we might be able to start building this thing, and there are a couple of more steps. I think next time we're going to create our structs, and then we can talk about the testing skeleton, which should be interesting. Yeah, one thing is nice about Anchor is it kind of gave us a start of what our code looks like, and without having to write everything manually, which is always nice. Gave us our cargo, it gave us configuration, and some basic stuff. So if you go into tests right now, and we've seen this before using a, we've done this before where we have used Node.js in order to test our Rust program. Because remember, our D app is going to use Node.js to interact with our with the Solana, the program on the Solana chain, with the Rust program, the smart contract on the chain. So what it's doing here right now is it's going to, when we end up writing, and we're going to get into this later on, it's going to actually interact and make sure our app is working. So anyway, hopefully this has been helpful, and I will speak to you next time. Take care.